I inherited them. Okay, so let's see here. Connie drove from Winnipeg to Lethbridge. She drove 740 miles. 740 miles in a time of 13 hours and 51 minutes, only stopping once for gas, which is 10 minutes, and once for dinner, 55 minutes. She used, so 10 minutes and 55 minutes. That is, so basically what's happening here is this is the total travel time. We have to subtract these two from the total, right, to figure out our speed. She used this many gallons of fuel, and it cost $14.54, knowing that 1 gallon has 3.79 liters. Determine the average speed in kilometers per hour. So that's something that I would expect you to, is distance over time. If you're taking physics, if you're taking grade 10, well, you're not taking grade 10 science, you're probably done grade 10 science. But that's something that you should have, maybe you didn't remember, but here it is, one more time. So we want to find the average speed. So we want to figure out the total distance and the total time it took us to travel. Okay, let's do that first. So for A, I'm going to turn my distance into kilometers. So 1 mile has 1.6093. Can you confirm that? Is that what it is? Before, I don't have the key in front of me. Is that the conversion? I know that I put a 7 in there, one of these, like at the beginning last week, 67093. I don't know why. You can probably guess why. Okay, so 740 times 1.6093. That is my distance in kilometers. I'm not going to round just yet. And now, so this is my distance. Now I'm going to figure out time. And I want to turn everything into hours. So I don't like the hours and minutes, so we're going to work with that. So let's, how are we going to do this? What would be the easiest way? So you can kind of figure out what would be the easiest way to do it. So if I have 13 hours and 51 minutes, okay, I want to subtract basically 65 minutes from it. An hour and 5 minutes, essentially. Okay? So what I will do is I will turn both of these into just hours, and then I will subtract. If you did it a different way, that's fine. So basically, I turn, how do you turn this into hours? You go 13, right, 51 over 60. Right, if you divide your minutes by 60, you can now say that is all hours minus 65 over 60. If you put it out of 60, now you're turning it into hours, okay? And I will do the work here. So you go 51, basically you go 51 divided by 60 is that. You add 13 to it. So basically 13 hours and 51 minutes turns out to be 13.85 hours. Okay? So it's 13.85 minus, I'll go 65 divided by 60. That's 1.08, it keeps going. And this is where you don't want to round just yet, okay? So I'm going to go 13.85 minus copy paste. And so that is my total travel time. Hours, okay? This is my time. Mr. Jackson, could I have turned everything into minutes and then subtracted both minutes and then turned it into hours? Absolutely, you get the same answer. Okay, so now I'm ready for my speed. Its distance, which is 1190882 kilometers, divided by 12.766 something hours. Okay, This is a rate, but you want a unit rate, so the way you get a unit rate is you divide them, okay? So I'm going to go 1190.882 divided by the time, so it's 93.28 kilometers per hour. If my key rounded early, it's an older key, so if you want to be prepared for grade 12, don't round too soon. Round and when you're at the very end, when you're ready to answer the question. So this, I'm identifying that is the final answer. So that's an average speed, right? You could have gone 100, 80, whatever, at some point.
Will the custodian go with a mop and pail to a spill outside room 54 in the hallway? A custodian to room 54 with a mop and pail.
Okay, B. Let's do B here. Determine their average fuel consumption in liters per 100 kilometers. Remember, I gave you that formula. Fuel economy is what? Liters over distance times 100. I gave you that formula. And in this case, we do know what our liters are, I think. Yeah, 5.51 gallons. I don't want gallons. I need to turn something into liters. So let's do that on the side here. 5.51 gallons. 1 gallon has 3.79 liters. Cancel out the gallons. So it's 5.51 times 3.79. So that ends up being 20.8829 liters that I've used for this trip. Okay. And that is what I'm going to put up here. And my distance, I already know. I calculated that earlier. I'm going to multiply that by 100. I'm going to make sure I don't mix things up, so I'm going to box in the conversion that happened there. And I'm going to divide these two. I'm just going to copy paste on my calculator, right? I'm going to paste this from my previous line, divide it by, I still have the 1190 somewhere. There we go. You can't see it on the screen, I know that. I'll multiply that by 100. That is a ridiculously low fuel economy. That's like, anyways, I need to redo the numbers. If you have a car that only uses this much fuel, buy it, okay? Because most cars use, like, hybrids even go as low as 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers. That's like as low as you can probably get. This is amazing. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We did the math. This is what you should be getting, okay? So fuel economy is always stated in liters per 100 kilometers. This formula reminds me, this one right here reminds me also, I gave you one to figure out the price per 100 grams. Remember that question we did yesterday? You always go cost divided by quantity and then you multiply it by 100. It would give you the price for 100 grams of whatever you're purchasing. And the reason we do that is because figuring out the price for 1 gram, it's like a weird number. It's like $0.00001, right? It's like a very weird, so we go by per 100 to make it a bit more applicable to our scenario. Stores will do that, okay? So keep that in mind. C, what's the average cost of liter of gas? Cost per liter of gas. So it's saying, let's see how we can do this. I will just say all the liters we've used, like the cost here, I'm going to basically go cost divided by quantity. So whenever you're asked to figure out the average price, it's basically trying to figure out what is the price per liter. So I'm going to take what I've spent, which is $14.54, and I'm going to divide it by the number of liters that I've used in this scenario. If you're not sure, always put the dollars on top in this unit. If you're not sure, where should I put this? Dollars and then quantity. So if you divide that, you get 20.8829. So that is 0.696, so that would be 70 cents for every liter is your average price. You would think this is unreal, but at the beginning of like a year into COVID, it went down to like 70, 60 cents a liter at one point. So gas prices fluctuate a lot. All right, I'm gonna stop this one right here.